Can you go
Oh,
back
you're
and
not
then
gonna put. Oh,
okay, keep
seriously, I
going.
was on a roll,
I
man.
know. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
just.
sorry.
Oh.
I broke your stride. My bad. Okay, let's do this. I'll actually say my name correctly this time.
Mm. Ah.
Actually, I can do the intro.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. This is Spazzy here, and today with me I have but I love you. Would you say hi real quick?
Hello, everyone.
Oh, fuck you.
That's
You're
actually
such a dick.
very, very bad.
Okay,
Sorry about
I'll
that.
let you do the intro correctly. All right, go ahead. I will be
Okay,
respectful now.
hello, everyone. This is Bassy coming at you with my good friend, but I love you. Say hello, please.
Hello.
Today we're taking a look at Books Are Cool, the team you can see on your left side on your screen, isn't that right?
Yep, they are a blue team.
And they are facing ESP Gaming. This is the game before quarterfinals in this Go4LoL Sunday, 27th of February. I always have a problem saying
26
7th.
actually, because we're
Okay,
in
yeah.
America, and in
Yeah, I'm actually
America,
in Sweden, so
yeah.
here's 27th. But that's just me. And starting off right now, we do have the bands and some picks ready. Taking a look at the bands real quick. What do you think about them?
Well, last game they had books are cool. Actually, sorry, the enemy team, Ink Hearts actually had Shen. Well, the game before that last one, and it kind of, actually no, it was last game. Sorry, and it gave him actually little bit of problems where he would ult in and kind of really turn the fights around. And they actually almost lost that game, but got lucky and got a really nice Baron fight and picked up Baron off of that and kind of used that momentum for the rest of the game. So Shen Ban, they obviously want to get him out of the game, and of course Ram is just he's always annoying in any game he ever plays as a jungle. Ari, who's really strong in middle, she really counters a lot of AP in middle at the moment, and she's pretty strong. And it looks like ESP actually wanted to like focus out a ban on Shaco, which NK Inc. has been playing quite a bit lately, as well as Lee Sin, who he plays, and as well as Books Are Cool. They play Lee Sin top lane quite often. And the Morgana ban, I'm not sure about. Um, Maybe it's like tended towards Phantom Lord for some reason, but I'm not sure of that last ban.
So, okay, yeah, he was trolling a bit there. I was actually thinking we were gonna see a Sejuani, and I was thinking that would be interesting. But Books Are Cool obviously did a very, very nice game before this one, which you actually streamed as well, where they played a very successful Malphite in the jungle with an awesome gank. And as I said when after that game, I just love to see a good Malphite ultimate. It's just so visually pleasing in a way. So good to see that they're securing that pick. And MF Alistar bottom against Grave Soraka. What do you think about that matchup?
Well, obviously, Soraka Graves is a really good farming lane. With the new changes to Soraka, how she can give a ridiculous amount of mana back to their AD carry at bottom, it really helps for some really good harass. But Alistair MF is like single-handedly the strongest AD carry, level 1s through, I believe, 5, even maybe even 6. So that kind of combo, if they can be really aggressive and can catch that Soraka into an Alistair combo, they can potentially easily see a good couple kills at bottom. And
Yeah, I remember back in the day when MF Tarek was the feared laning pair that you would really want to try and avoid.
yeah, it's kind of funny that with the interview I did with Double Lift, we were talking about how it kind of just changes like the popular flavor of the month like bottom lanes where like beginning of season 2 it was all about Caitlyn Tarek, and then they released Graves and they didn't even really touch Caitlyn. They nerfed maybe a little bit on her traps. That was it, and she just became unknown again. Like you'd hardly ever see her, and now it's all about Graves, Severe, even MF, and you still you really don't see Ash or Ezreal too much, and even a little bit of Corki you see played. So it kind of just wavers here and there on who's popular and
Flavor of the month, basically, and it's
yeah.
not always to do about who's the strongest. It's just to what you see on the streams and what's going on in the community, I guess. And we can see some AoE madness going down there from ESP Gaming with Amumu and Cassiopeia. I wonder what they are going to follow up on top lane to that. You reckon Amumu is going to go in the jungle? He probably is,
Oh
but
yeah,
Amumu is kind of I wouldn't say the strongest jungler. What are your thoughts upon that?
he's not really strong jungler anymore. With all the champs that are being released, I mean his ganks he is able to gank at level 4 with his bandage toss even before that if he picks it up early. But he's pretty much just there for his ultimate, and if you can force a team fight, if like Bookskirl can force a team fight when his ultimate is down, then he's going to be useless because he does nothing else during a fight, and he's obviously going to be traded. Yeah, he obviously traded that with Soraka, and what I really am curious about is Ziggs versus Cassiopeia because Ziggs is really strong um, or sorry, Cassiopeia is really strong in mid lane, and you usually see her get banned quite often. I'm really curious to see how Phantom deals with her.
Absolutely, and that blue buff is also going to be interesting to see once the players get their hands on those, how the, because you actually see a lot of different gameplays. So if you face two AD carries against each other with and without blue buffs, it really can be very, very different in terms of how they play and how they engage towards each other. So that should be interesting as well. And we see a Yorick versus Trundle top there. Two very strong top laners. Yorick, of course, does have the slight advantage of sustain, but Trundle's poke and
Wait,
in general lane
Trundle.
dominance is...
Do you see
Sorry,
Trundle? Oh, okay. I was about to say maybe there's like a glitch because I see Rumble.
Rumble. I mean, seriously. You can't blame me for that.
I don't know.
Trundle, Rumble, Trundle,
Actually,
Rumble.
that's true. Your English isn't your main language or your first language, so I will give you that.
Exactly. Cut me some slack, man.
I will cut
But
you
yeah,
some.
Rumble top, obviously a very, very potent laner. And I believe Yorick is picking up the teleport there.
Yeah,
And we talked a bit about teleport before.
that's something that Hazard really has to watch out for, and in general for Books Are Cool, because he now has that presence in any other lane where he can just teleport out, and Rumble can push lanes decently fast, but having York being able to teleport down to Dragon and pick up that quick Dragon can really set Books Are Cool pretty far behind, and I really hope he kind of tries to take advantage of that. Or sorry, the York to try to take advantage of that, because teleport is one of those things, as we were saying last time, that can really be hit or miss. If you don't use it ever in the early phase of the game, then it becomes useless towards mid to late game. And
Yeah, absolutely.
one thing I wanted to point out that I really want to talk about, we were talking about blue buffs for Cassiopeia and Ziggs, and what I really want to see out of both teams is really strong jungle control, like buff controls. We saw in the first game that Books Are Cool really try to keep that blue buff, the enemy team's blue buff to Nidalee, who was top lane. Like, they really try to pick up, ever since the first one went down, I think it was Udyr got the first one, every blue buff after that was actually given to Nidalee. So a really strong control on that will really set Cassiopeia really far behind. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised, I mean, I don't expect it at this point, but Soraka Cassiopeia bottom is really strong as well. I was talking to Doublelift in the Olden 10, and he was talking about how CLG's experimented with this, where they have a Cassiopeia Soraka, and as long as she keeps her 5 stacks for passive, then she can never go with a Soraka, like, ever. She could spend, as long as she keeps that 5 stack with her Q, she cannot go so she can keep harassing like a ridiculous amount. But I don't really expect to see that, of course.
That is interesting, because I was actually looking at the summoner spells a bit, and I was a bit surprised seeing... obviously, we do see a lot of Sorakas with the heal, but I always prefer, when I'm playing the bot lane, to grab the heal myself as an AD carry, and then let the support grab the exhaust or the other offensive summoner spell. Because I always feel like at the bot lane, you're always the one being targeted if you're playing AD, and having that heal to maximize that it actually goes on you, and that you can use it when you feel like it's the best timing. Just makes sense to me, but obviously they can pull it off this way as well, so I'm not going to criticize it that much. And of course, when Malphite or well, it's literally only Malphite, I guess, who can jump on Graves from afar, and exhaust might help him. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's definitely different, because AD carries pick up that heal because it heals you so much more when you use it on yourself than healing someone else with it. And you can also time it a lot better. And by having exhaust on an AD carry, it forces you to get closer to them. If your auto attack range is farther than you can exhaust, then you actually have to like walk to them to hit the exhaust unless they engage on you, kind of thing. So it's really kind of detrimental to run exhaust on an AD carry that has decent range. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Like, usually I've been running heal a lot on my... Oh, my League of Legends is not responding. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Yeah, I usually run heal on my AD carry as well. I don't know. Well, it would be really interesting to see, because Soraka is able to get closer and not be too affected by it. Because once she pops her ultimate and pops her, individual heal and silence, she's pretty much useless for us with team fight unless she has, 40% CDR. Oh,
it should be interesting. So we're starting to get into the game. I don't know if you're here yet, but
I'm not in. I hate you.
Okay, we're starting off now. And do you have a drink right now? Because
I do. It's
what are you
gone,
drinking?
though. I'm drinking and spilling on myself apparently right now. Mountain Dew.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now that is American enough for you.
Yeah, and you're drinking, I believe, Earl Grey tea.
I've actually mixed it up. I'm going for a green mixture. It's actually a mixture between green and black tea, and it's some strawberry in there and some licorice and some other cool stuff. So very, very exquisite tea, of
Interesting.
course.
That's some hardcore like tea right there.
Oh yeah, you know they call me a tea expert for a reason. So
There's so many
it
wrong
looks
ways you can go with that.
yeah. A lot of pings going down just to mark. I believe they're just talking about the strats and where they want to go. Might see a level 1 from Books Are Cool here.
It
They
looks like
definitely want to invade.
they know a Mumu is a pretty like is a jungler that you have to get blue with. If you don't get that, you're really slow in the jungle and you're forced to have to gank and or back and get your mana back. So they know that he's probably going to be starting blue and they really want to take away his levels because at 6 his ganks become really deadly. So by taking his red buff looks like they're going to be doing and potentially his double golems, they're going to deny him those hard levels, hard XP, or
And
hard
taking a look at
gold.
how they're walking it, sorry, I just want to point that out. It's a really nice thing that they are walking around that, because obviously that brush where they're standing recalling right now could be a potential place where enemies could be hiding and scouting for potential invaders. And just taking the path around that can really surprise the enemy and actually take it down a level 1 where they would have been able to flash out. I'd just like to see those kind of min-maxing plays there.
Yeah, Alistair can. I mean, I'm assuming Alistair. Let me check real quick. Yeah, he did get his pulverized level 1, so he
Yep.
is able to like get in there and knock him up right away if anyone was in that bush. And it looks like Malphite taking a Mumu's race and actually leaving one small one up. It's such a dick move, but it's so smart. And they will be taking his red buff as well here.
Yeah. Very good job, and obviously we see MF and Alistar grabbing the small golems at bottom, so they will ding level 2 a bit faster than Graves and Soraka. So this is a very, very potent start from Books Are Cool here, since they will set back Mumu's jungle quite a bit. And if they do this correctly, as you can see, they do have a ward there at the entrance to their race, so they can see if Amumu is going to try and counter. But again, like we said, Amumu is not the strongest champion in the early levels. I mean, he has his ultimate late game, but that is about it. In terms of counter jungling, I seldom feel like he excels that good. But again, it is a Malphite, so it should be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's really a bad move on ESP parts not to have anyone watching for any invasion because now Mumu's set really far behind. Like they should have known that Books Are Cool was going to be taking that red buff away from them. So now not only did they not invade double golems to stop that, they didn't invade or they didn't prevent their red invasion onto them. So now they're really far behind already, like just starting off the game.
Yeah, and I just want to point that out. Whenever you are going to secure your blue, Sig's doing some nice harassing
Yeah,
Cassiopeia in mid there.
just took her down
Uh,
about a third of her life with just 2 hits. Just his minefield and his auto attack.
Yeah, that auto attack strong early game. But yeah, when you're going for your blue to just secure that, you really should have at least one player guarding the red entrance just to see if the enemy potentially could come there and disrupt some jungle. And if you know that, that is just going to set you in a better position to act on it. But standing all at the blue is really no reason like early game.
Yeah, have you ever noticed that like the more professional or more or like skilled the teams are, just how much of a different game it becomes? Like I've noticed this quite a bit going up from whatever ELO to 1900 is just that it's night and day in these games. Just like what happens, like people are so much smarter in terms of like knowing taking buffs away, sorry, invading, being more aware in general. Like it's really nice seeing just how different the games are, or at least how different it feels when watching it or even playing in it.
I do agree, and it's also a bit like we talked a bit earlier in the other game we casted here tonight that you do see some different. You were talking about the passive
Actually, Messi first
gameplays.
blood. Sorry, Messi first blood here in the middle. Cassiopeia flashing to try to get that kill and does get the auto attack and will get first blood on the Ziggs. She did push him out of lane towards bottom river a little bit right there, and he was forced to try to run away. And she got really nice auto attacks off. Kept attacking, moving to make sure to get that first kill, and that is first blood for ESP Gaming. Really good job done by Cass.
Yeah, well played there, definitely. And as you can see on Malphite right now, he is actually close to his level 5, whereas Amumu is halfway, a bit more than halfway through level 3. And this really makes a difference. Now he's obviously going to have to hold his lane, which gives him XP as well, so that's fine. But he's significantly ahead in the jungle at this point.
Yeah, what's nice is that I believe actually no, Ziggs did pop his flash, but Cassiopeia does have her flash down now, so she is susceptible to
Alistar
ganks.
flashing in bottom there and knocking back Soraka. MF putting that debuff on her to make her heal last for a bit less and going to put some harass, but not able to take that kill. But that was some aggression, really, and a ballsy move from Alistar there, using his summoner flash to get up close and knock Soraka back. But she was ready for it, so no kill for bottom.
Yeah, we see a top lane some aggression. Mumu actually did push in from River to try to get this gank on a Rumble, and does get him quite low, but he does have cloth armor and 2 pots left, so he should be able to stay in lane quite easily. And Ziggs as well is coming up from mid lane and maybe potentially get a kill here to help Rumble if he can bait him in, or maybe pick up a kill on a Mumu as he goes back into his jungle. And he does see him, and he does get some really nice damage off onto him, but Mumu does flash over that wall and gets away. Really good job again. So now Mumu's denied his own jungle. He will have to back, I'm assuming. And now Mumu will be even farther away from level 6. Really good job by Ziggs to notice that. And Malphite, of course, is just soaking up all this XP in mid lane in the meantime. And Cass is actually noticing Ziggs coming back to lane. And this is what I'm talking about right here. Just stuff that people normally don't notice that makes the game completely different is like when you're gone, you can tell, they're going to be coming back to lane and you can try to set up for that easy kill.
Yeah, I'm surprised Cassiopeia didn't put more aggression onto Ziggs. I guess she was afraid of Malphite there, but she is level 6 and Ziggs was level 4 at that point, so
yeah,
she could really have put the hurt on him.
She didn't really have an escape, though, that's the thing. She had her ulti to escape with, but still, a Malphite who's probably really close, or is really close to level 6, and she didn't know how close exactly. There was no escape for her if she, kind of try to be aggressive on that. She already has the lead in middle, so why kind of put yourself in a position to lose that lead?
Yeah, and Malphite is now going to ding level 6 once he grabbed. There you go. That's level 6. And Amumu is not even halfway through 4. Malphite has been holding the mid lane a bit. Oh, sorry about that. I missed that. In mid, we actually got another kill for Cassiopeia. And I guess it's true what you said about Cassiopeia being a very strong pick. And it looks like she's actually going to pot up and head bottom straight away. Notice that bottom is quite overextended. And she might actually go for it. No, she's just going to ward up, go back to mid, farm that up, push that wave so they lose up to some creep kills there. But did you see what actually happened there?
I did not, unfortunately. I was looking at top lane at that moment. But what we need to see, though, is Books Cool really needs to prevent Amumu's blue buff right here. They really need to prevent Cass from taking it. Amumu is top right now, so Malphite could sneak in and take it right now, which I'm assuming he might do with the way he's going. But Cass does have that ward down. Yeah, he is going to be going for it. But she does have that ward down, and she does notice that he is heading in that direction. It looks like Malphite is actually right here sitting for a gank, noticing that Cass's flash should be coming off cooldown soon, so if he is going to go for a gank, he has to do it, ASAP. But it looks like he's just going to go for that blue buff. Deny Cass that blue buff. Really good job on his part and really good map awareness. And that will really set her far behind if they can get Ziggs their blue buff as well.
Absolutely. I am surprised if they're not going to act on this right now because she did put down that ward. I do believe she did. Yeah, now it's going to be obvious when Ziggs is moving there as well. But the only way they could act on this is if Yorick teleported somewhere because they're just too far away from it. And Malphite is actually grabbing that with Smite just to secure it. And that is just very, very good for Books Are Cool at this point because Cassiopeia does have 2 kills. And with that blue buff, she's going to be very, very scary for Ziggs to handle. And now they're going to go in there and look at their buffs and see that, whoops, we don't have the blue. But yeah.
Yeah, Cass is actually waiting for it. She's actually waiting right there to protect him and take it when it comes up, but they do not realize it's gone. That ward obviously that ward obviously spotted Malphite and Ziggs going over to it. I'm surprised Cass didn't call that earlier, even though Mumu was not in a position to stop it or, kind of take it. And we're seeing Mumu coming in here for a gank on a Ziggs, and he does miss his Vantage Toss. Really good job by Ziggs to dodge that, and I'm surprised he even saw that coming, because... Actually, no, he saw it coming from the ward here by Dragon, and Mumu did come through River, I believe, right there. And we see Soraka putting on a pink ward, so it looks like they actually want to try to force a Dragon here with their advantage. Cass having that really strong advantage in the middle, being 2 kills ahead of Ziggs, and not to mention levels ahead of him.
Yeah, and as we can see here, Ziggs is going to get that blue, and we are going to see a Ziggs with blue buff and 2 Doran's rings versus Cassiopeia with that Hextech Revolver already, and not having the blue buff. So it's going to be interesting to see. And yes, like you said, they pinked the dragon. I'm not too sure they are in such a strong position. Obviously, they do have the teleport, but if Malphite is there, I would be very, very cautious with engaging the dragon.
Looks like Malphite's actually trying to come in for a gank here, and he does get that ultimate on the Cass, and a really nice ultimate from Ziggs as well, but she does flash away, having that up, and misses her ultimate, so they could now go for that blue buff, or sorry, go for that dragon, knowing her ultimate is down. That is the strongest, part that they can offer in a team fight, that can really shut them down. And one thing I really want to point out is look at the gold at the moment. Even though ESP does have 2 kills and does have that first blood over Bookster Cool, they still are ahead in gold. They are ahead by about 5k or 500 gold. So their CS is really starting to show a little bit that they're really trying to take this game, even though they did get 2 unfortunate deaths early on.
Yeah, MF has been pushing the lane bottom, which probably has made it a bit of, hard for Graves to last hit at the turret. And no matter how skilled you are going to miss a couple of minions if you push out the lane. And MF there is actually an 87 CS versus 62. So that is obviously going to show as well when we get into the team fights.
And not to mention that Rumble, I'm sorry, up to 72 CS compared to Yorick's 42. And he does get that kill onto him. Even Yorick even wasted his flash. Rumble came in with his ultimate and his flamethrower, and they get the ignite off as well, which did take down Yorick. So that's another really huge advantage for Rumble. He was able to get back and get his Hex Tech, or his revolver, sorry, and we'll have that much needed life steal or spell steal in lane to keep him a strong force. And we see some action starting on bottom as well. Alistair and MF did push Soraka out of lane, and Graves is there all alone to defend himself. And it looks like they might try to go for Dragon here. They are pinging it, but they know that ESP does have vision on Dragon. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen here.
They do, and they should also know that Yorick has the teleport up, and yeah, they need to be safe if they want to secure this. Cassiopeia, I don't know how far it is for her ultimate to be back up. It should be up for the Drake if they... Oh, they actually engage it right now. This should be interesting to see. They are poking away at it. It's closing in on half health. I believe Malphite does have the smite up.
No, he does not have a smite up, so Mumu could steal this if he were to get here really quickly. But of course, not knowing if it's up, they do pick up that first dragon at about the 11:30 mark. Really good job by Bookster Cool to kind of take advantage of that, knowing that Cass's ultimate was down, her flash was down, and she was semi-oom, and also Soraka was back in base trying to heal up after that really good, strong aggression at bottom lane.
Also very well played by Rumble there, who pushed out his top lane after that kill and headed immediately for Drake to join his allies and grabbing it, so not making it a 5v4 if Yorick were to show up. And he actually arrives in time for grabbing those minions as well. So overall, well played there.
Yeah, if you guys were watching the Phantom Lord stream last game, because the other team actually had casters in it already, he was talking about how Hazard, who was playing really at top, wasn't coming down for Dragon, and he did pick up that nice kill there on Yorick, so he played very smart coming down knowing that Yorick had that teleport. So if he did ride back in lane, Yorick could teleport down there and make a 4-on-4, a 5-on-4, and potentially taking that Dragon for the team. So a really good job by him to adjust from last game and kind of smarten up a little bit, and not let that affect him from last game, and kind of try to work his way around it and learn from it.
Amumu's come in for a gank here bottom. They do not have vision there in river, so it's going to be scary. He does have his ultimate up, so we are going to see
a 4-man gank actually. Sorry, Cass is coming down as well. It looks like this is going to be really good here. It looks like really bad for Bookster Cool.
Graves flashing away. They can survive. Yeah, he's not going to go down. And here is, if I were them right now, I would just go like, oh shit. And MF is just backing off there.
Trying to get that CS.
Trying to get some CS before she goes back. But yeah, she knows she was quite deaded at that point. But she hasn't been back to buy, I think. Graves has that, or actually she must have been back once, but I don't think, yeah, she's going to come back with some good items after this. Because she has 170 CS. But meanwhile, Alistar is actually going to fall to that ultimate of Alistar, and Cassiopeia is doing some nice damage. And meanwhile, top as well, we're getting some action. Did you manage to catch that?
I actually didn't catch either. I was looking at MF's gold because you were talking about how she'll be able to come back with some really nice items, but she's only at like 1,560 gold, so it looks like she's actually going to be holding onto that for that BF sword. So it looks like she's actually not going to be coming back with any items. And yeah, there was some action in middle where Alistair did fall, but Rumble did pick up that kill on Yorick, and it looks like ESP will actually be able to pick up their own blue this time, and Cass with blue buff in middle now is going to be really strong. She does have that Hex Tech to kind of, take her sustainability to the next level against Ziggs because of his ridiculous poke with his bombs and, being able to bounce him pretty far.
Look how slow Alistar is.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't have that boost, yes, and I do really like that Malphite picked up the Oracle to really capitalize on this, and I just, Alistar is not the squishiest support, but I really like when the jungler, who sometimes might be a bit more beef than the support, pick up that Oracle, because it just might last longer and just be more profitable for the entire team.
Yeah, actually, because of the counter jungling they did early game, he's able to pick up 3 GP5s, which over time, I think it's a couple minutes, the Oracle will pay for itself, not to mention killing wards. And they know that they've been caught off guard in middle, particularly in bottom river. This area caught off guard from the enemy or from ESP's wards, so that Oracle will really help them and prevent those deaths that are, that shouldn't really happen somewhat, if they have good ward coverage.
Yeah, and MF just went B there after a couple of minutes. Like you said, she was very close to that BF sword, and now she's got it, and she is going to be on 152 attack damage versus 134 on Graves. But Graves supporting a bit more armor since she does have that Wriggles Lantern. And yeah, we were talking about that earlier as well, about the Wriggles being a bit more strong in terms of... Actually, Alistar is going to make a move here, just doing that nice... pulverized combo there, and Graves is actually coming out ahead of that fight due to his substantial burst when the enemies get close, and that's just Graves for you.
You were mentioning we were talking about Wriggles the first game, and unfortunately, it's not going to work out that well for Graves. I mean, he has a Soraka in lane. It would have been better for him to just kind of hold on for that Bloodthirster. But sorry, we see Malphite coming in as well with an Oracle. He's not been spotted, and he does have his ultimate up, so he will be able to pick up Graves here really quickly. Graves doesn't have his flash as well, but he does have exhaust, and Amumu coming in from River. MF kind of spotting that. Alistair kind of getting exhausted, trying to run away. Malphite coming in from the bushes without noticing him, and does pop his ultimate onto Graves and Amumu. And Alistair with a really nice knockback on Amumu, preventing his ultimate from keeping everyone else stunned there. And it looks like they will be able to pick up the triple kill here as well. Ziggs picking up the kill on Amumu. They're going to be chasing Soraka while she's in lane. Ziggs with that red buff, keeping her slowed. Soraka does not have boots, and Ziggs picking up 2 kills there. Really good job by Alistair and Malphite there to work together.
Beautiful play, and I really like that Malphite actually waited a bit. He saw Amumu coming in, but he just waited for Graves to come a bit further out in the lane before he actually went in, and that was just a huge surprise, I think. And of course, allow me to say poof, since Ziggs did grab that kill with his ultimate, and that was just beautiful. I really like to see those kills. It's awesome. And yeah, that was really well played. Cassiopeia moving in, trying to not do anything, just grabbing those minions. And Ziggs with double buff is just a force to be reckoned with. It's just so annoying. And Cassiopeia is going to try and chase, but no, she's going to turn to those juicy minions and get that farm instead.
Yeah, she's actually running... Or actually, continue real quick.
No, sorry, go on.
She's actually running the skill level up order to do a ridiculous amount of damage, where she levels up her Twin Fang over her Noxious Blast. Noxious Blast is usually used for like zoning people because it provides really good harass. The range is really good on it, and it does some pretty significant damage, but she is trying to burst that Ziggs down with those Twin Fangs because... if you have the mana to do it, which she had with the blue buff, she's able to burst Ziggs down, and Ziggs can do nothing about it. And
Rumble here, unfortunate DC there from Soraka. That's not good. I'm just gonna hold, pray. I reckon, like, I'm gonna ask you something. Hold your thumbs. Is that something you can say in English?
I don't think we've ever heard that before.
That is a Swedish term for praying that something will happen. Meanwhile, Cassiopeia was in a bit unfortunate position there. They actually did have that warded. That is just surprising to me that she actually walked in there. And now they're going to pick a very secure Drake. It's very unfortunate when you see these connects like this to turn the events in one favor. Because, yeah, Books Are Cool might have been in a stronger position right here, but it really still was anyone's game at this point. And I'm just hoping that Striker will come back very soon.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. You see that happen a lot in solo queue, where so in DCs, the other team tries to go for those crucial buffs immediately, and Ziggs doing a really good amount of damage and does force Graves to pop his flash. Graves would have lived if he did not do that, so really good job to waste that flash. But yeah, I was saying, like, in solo queue, you see it happen a lot. And Rumble doing some really good damage on top lane as well. It does get that Ignite and ulti off again on Yorick. Rumble really dominating his lane right now with 146 CS compared to Yorick's 81. So this is really
and let's
not
forget that he's level 14 versus 11. It's just that just really shows. And now Amumu is getting caught. Wow, he got
missing his ultimate.
Unstoppable forward. And here comes Cassiopeia with some very nice damage. And I believe this is not going to turn in their favor. Is Amumu going to survive though? It's going to be close.
Oh!
Yes, there you go. Beautiful. So that was very unlucky for Books Are Cool that Malphite actually missed his ultimate there. What actually happened there? I think he
overshot it, actually. He overshot it because Ziggs actually knocked him back towards himself. I don't remember the ability right now. Let me look it up real quick. He used his satchel charge to actually knock Amumu towards Ziggs. And Malphite was ulting and ulted where he was, but not including the knockback. So Amumu actually got saved because of that. But as we saw right there, Cass maxing her Twin Fangs. Just the amount of damage she could do. She hit that ultimate on Ziggs, got her noxious poison on top of him, and just started Twin Fang spamming, and he just died in a matter of seconds. That's why she's so strong, and that's why she's been maxing that, just because she can burst that Ziggs down really quickly. And Ziggs isn't even running MR runes either, so he can be bursted down quite easily by her if she can get an ultimate off.
So we mentioned the teleport in the beginning. Unfortunately, in this game, we can see that this is not a summoner spell that has helped ESP Gaming in any way. Yorick has not been able to do anything constructively due to the fact that he actually is so far behind at this point. But before, there was just no real no real situation where he could use it efficiently. And that is just, that Ignite on Rumble, on the other hand, has paid him off with a couple of kills. And it's just, he might have gotten those without the Ignite, but with the Ignite, it's just way more secure. And let's not forget the extra AP that he gets from it if he actually specs into it into his masteries. So again, it's a situational summoner spell that really can make or break team fights.
Yeah, you're definitely right on that. It was definitely a situational summer spell, and unfortunately, ESP did not create any openings to use that effectively. They didn't try to force a dragon so we could teleport down, keeping Rumble at top. Wow, Cassiopeia missing her ultimate on Ziggs there, and Ziggs barely escaping, just being out of her range, even though his back was to her. But yeah, they didn't really create a situation where teleport could be useful. They didn't try that early dragon. They didn't, try to get him to teleport down there while Ziggs was, while Rumble was still top. So they really couldn't do anything with it, and it just became a really wasted spell for her. And there is some aggression here on bottom. Graves catching his MF and does exhaust her as well. Mumu coming in for the save, and we see Ziggs and Malphite coming in from the side as well. Ziggs getting that really nice ultimate on the Graves as well. Everyone is just grouped up. Malphite getting a triple knockup with his Unstoppable Force, and Cassiopeia, who got ulted by Yorick, is chasing down that MF. As well as that Yorick and Amumu chasing him down, and we see Alistair and Malphite trying to take on 2v2 here, and Amumu does pop onto the ultimate as well, catches that Malphite, and Malphite should be able to escape here if he does dodge this Amumu's bandage toss, because Amumu does have blues, so he can definitely keep that cry spam up, and we will see right here, he does flash over that wall, Amumu not letting that bandage toss, Malphite really job ran the other way. But wow, what a that was a really good fight there. We saw just the power of Malphite Alistair having, the double knockup on as many people as they can, get. But that was a really good engage. And it still is, okay, there we go. So now it is finally 5-on-5 again. So it was a really good job by ESP to kind of get back in the game. And, cool. Or
here comes Rumble though in mid. It's gonna pop that ultimate. That Amumu's gonna have trouble because right now Rumble's damage is just way too high. Look at how much damage he does, and Alistar landing that combo is just gonna secure a double kill for him. But yeah, I really like that team fight. They were actually 4v4 there, and Rumble was top, and that was really what they wanted to do. And ESP Gaming did a good job, and that ultimate on Cassiopeia especially managed to get MF low enough for them to clean it up. And yeah, I love the fact how they were positioned as well. If you noticed, Alistar was actually standing way aggressive in their jungle just to actually come in and surprise them. But then they came in from the side, and it was just, yeah, I really liked that play. It was very, very great to see the positioning from both teams.
I actually expected maybe a 4-throw exchange if Cass did have her ultimate up, but she did waste it on Ziggs. We saw earlier, and Ziggs doing some ridiculous damage on a Cass. And Cass having her ultimate up, which does save her life there. But Ziggs almost bursting down that Cass in a matter of seconds. Really good job by her to have that ultimate up and to save herself. And Rumble flashing and not getting anyone as well. But, yeah, if Cass...
They blew 3 ultimates there. I just want to say that there.
Oh, yeah.
Soraka's Wish went down, and Graves' ultimate also went down, and Cassiopeia had to use her ultimate to escape. So they are in an excellent position to actually push this turret and do something about it.
Oh, wow, Graves going down to Ziggs' minefield there, and Rumble getting the ultimate down as well to kind of separate the teams, and Mumu is caught off by himself, and Soraka is getting low as well. Mumu goes down, Rumble's going to chase down that Soraka for that kill. She is under-leveled at the moment, and Alistair getting a really nice knock on Yorick as well, and they will pick up a 4-throw exchange there, and Cass coming in with a flash, trying to get the Ziggs down, and she does get ulted on by Malphite, so an ace, a 5-for-0 ace for
that
Books
bait,
Are Cool.
man, that bait.
Yeah, I really want to give credit, though, to ESP, because they really did hold on, even though they had a DC. And in that team fight in the jungle, if Cass did have her ultimate up, she could have had a Ziggs face tanking the turret?
Is it a GG? Is it a surrender vote? Or?
No, I don't know what that was.
Okay, then. Because I was just about to give him credit for staying on the other side of the jungle there, just looping in those bombs and doing some major damage, even though he wasn't like 20% HP. He did a massive contribution to that team fight. And that is really the power of Ziggs if you can play him correctly. Amumu is going to go in a bit foolishly there. The Curse of the Sad Mummy goes down. And I don't know if Rumble is doing a wise thing here, chasing him down. He should probably go back and not give them any more kills. Level 17, very impressive. Wow, yeah, he is going to pop down that ult, man. Grab a kill on a Mumu. That damage is just insane right now. And are they going to be able to get away from that little ninja kill? I think they are, although Graves does have his quick draw in 10 seconds. Is it going to be... Wow, the damage again. Exhaust goes down. Yorick is just pursuing here. He really wants to get this kill, get some revenge on this top laner that has been poning him the entire game. And Graves is just going to try, but no, they are not going to be able to catch them.
Wow.
What a really... Nice little hunt there in mid lane.
And in the meantime, Books Are Cool actually did pick up Dragon as well. So they are.
Oh yeah, I did notice. Yeah.
And they are up about. They're up a ridiculous amount of gold right now. That's all I'll say. I won't even get the number just because I don't even want to calculate it in my head. But wow,
Me
they're up
neither,
44k to 28k gold. But I don't know. It was a really good job at ESP to kind of hold on, even though they did have a DC. And Books Are Cool kind of really, played in that mentality where, oh, we're way ahead. They have a DC. We can just mess around. But as we saw, ESP did still hold on, and Books Are Cool could have easily did Baron. They had a 5 vs 4. They easily could have did Baron and taken that to kind of widen their lead, but they kind of messed around, and Straka finally did get back in the game, and hopefully they can do something here. They are down, like I said, a lot of gold, but Cass still has a really nice amount of damage here, and can still be a force to reckon with in teamfights if they get the really nice coordination with Amumu's ulti and Cass's ulti.
Absolutely. They really cannot afford to underestimate. We're going to see an engagement in a minute. Alistar is popping down his Furious there to catch up, flashing in, but getting ulted by Cassiopeia, popping his own ultimate to survive, though, and that damage from MF on Graves is just going to put it on. MF is going to flash for Cassiopeia. She cannot reach her, so she's going to have to go for Yorick, and oh my god, those crits. She does have her Infinity, some Phantom Dancers, and that is just too much damage for ESP Gaming to, and she's actually going to go toe-to-toe with Cassiopeia here.
And Ziggs letting the nice ult. Oh, Ziggs barely missing the ulti on a Mumu.
Oh,
that would have been a perfect
such
poof
a poof moment, man.
Oh, and there is the GG, there is the surrender. Really good job by both teams. I mean, that was still a really exciting match to watch, and unfortunately that Soraka DC did hold ESP back. That's very unfortunate, but that was still a really good game. That was really even for most of the fight, or most of the entire match.
I also like the fact, like you said, in the early mid game, we saw that ESP Gaming was actually up in champion kills, but Books Are Cool were actually up in gold, and that is just something very interesting that you might sometimes see. And it's just like if you look at that through a gameplay perspective, they tab on their in-game screen and they see the kills and go, well, that looks good, that looks neat, let's go in. But actually, they were behind, so that's just very interesting. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, that Rumble was just, he was just too farmed. He had 8 kills in the game. He had his Will, he had his Rabadon, and he had his Void Staff, so there was no stopping him in fights. The only way they could stop him is if they focused him down, but if you did that, then you have MF, who has Infinity's Edge Phantom Dancer to do damage, and as well as Ziggs, who has a Woda as well, so they have double Woda, and does have a Rabadon, so he's still potentially able to do a lot of bursts as well, so... Wow,
yeah, the only way they could have done it is that, like they did in the fight where Soraka was still DC'd in their jungle, they did choose to engage when Rumble was top, and that was the right thing to do. And they actually came out ahead until Rumble came back mid.
Yeah, until he came in for that double kill.
Yeah, because that was the right move to do due to the fact that they didn't have teleport, and when they see him in another lane, that is really the cue to engage. Unfortunately, again, it didn't turn in their favor. And again, very unfortunate that Soraka DC there, and it does break the game a bit, but yeah, up till then I think it was anyone's game, and I really think it was a very enjoyable game all in all. Some good team fights in there that I really enjoyed, with some positioning trick going on and all that types of good stuff.
Oh yeah, it's really nice to see just from the get-go. I mean, Cassiopeia had 2 kills up on Ziggs, but and she still had really strong damage, even though towards the later end of the game that she kind of got shut down a little bit, but it was still a really nice game to watch, and there's a lot of aggression everywhere, top lane, mid lane, and bot lane, where Alistar, in bot lane would constantly be aggressive against Soraka Graves, and even though they wouldn't pick up a kill, there would still be a lot of damage trading back and forth. Yeah, wow.
So we are going to